that was a casual match with Devil Wuster of NGA. So I think he said he got flooded, which I've had that problem before in that you get sort of quite a good deck and it just runs out of stream or you flood. So you'll probably try and have another match and we'll get some cooking. But this is us trying out our first Ravnica, the new set builds. I kind of drew. I started opening the packs like 6 at a time, you know, as if I was doing sealed. And when I started early, Azoria seemed to be a good bet. So once I'd opened everything, I still think it was the best way. I wanted to keep it pure RNA or the majority of the deck to get used to the new cards, but I've obviously sneaked a few of the old cards, Dive Down in particular, because I've gone for flyers. So Dive Down, which obviously is from the older set, and I think I'd never ever opened a Lyra. So I've got various decks. I don't really play white a lot. So with one of the wild cards, I got a Lyra and shoehorned a Lyra in there as well, which I think fits the deck because there's quite a lot of angels in the new set. So it does okay, but again, it's still finding the cards. I'm more interested in just learning about the new set really. And of course, the problem with as has been put on other channels, the problem with the MGA currently is you just get the same old decks. It doesn't really matter what mode you play either. You can play clay. I'd stop playing ladder to be honest because it just got just frustrating as much as anything. I don't mind playing against good decks to try and beat them or try and overcome them, but it's just the same old, and you don't really think it's new. So you always think with a new set coming in that things will be different. And it has been. It's early days, I guess. People are still getting used to it. I mean, I've had a few interesting matches, but you still, unfortunately, the preponderance is still to get the same old, same old. So hopefully that changes in time. But I'm enjoying the new cards. Play paper as well with my son. So currently we're playing sealed tournament with guilds actually of Ravnica. So that's given me a better chance than, to be honest, playing arena to get used to playing different decks really, because that just doesn't happen in arena, or not enough, sadly. But still enjoy it, and obviously being able to play the new decks early is pretty cool. So we'll see how it goes. So hopefully we'll get a rematch with Wuster and see how that does. See you later. that was the second match. Yeah, burn baby burn, old school burn to the face. I kept a two-lander and I was a bit worried about that because it took a while to draw the extra land, but I think it was a decent match. I thought I might have a chance at 6, but obviously when you get information about burning the hand, having the wizard's fire, even though I'd sort of cleared the board of creatures, it can be difficult. I think it was pretty inevitable. So when the end came, it was fairly quick. But we're going to now try and have a few just jank matches. So these are really decks that I built for quests. You know, when you get the quests that say, you know, play these particular colors or so I'm going to try a few janks. The first one I'm going to try is something that I had for it's a kill creature. So I built basically a Rakdos. It turned into be a bit of a Rakdos control, which does quite well. So we'll see how it does against Wuster, and then I'll try some of my other janky builds just for funsies, as they say. Okay, keep watching, guys, and I hope you find this at least fun to watch and a little bit different from the normal Pro Tour stuff that you normally get in Arena most of the day. Okay, next match. I'll keep quiet for now. The idea of this deck, which you'll see when it starts, is really just to keep killing stuff to get mana, and then there's some bigger bombs or standard control stuff really, but it tends to do quite well, but it's pretty good at killing creatures, which is what it was built for initially. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of ways to kill things. I guess with the Golden Demise, I'll keep that because I don't necessarily have to worry about winning too quick. So I am treating it like a control deck. There's a decent amount of mana. I've obviously got longer term for tokens, anti-tokens with the 2 suits. So we can start this reasonably comfortably. Tends to work again quite well against aggro because you'll see there's some of the cheap burn like shock, lightning bolt, those sorts of things. So I'm quite happy to just at this stage draw land with having at least 1 or 2 removal cards, so to speak. And then as you'll see, if and when it gets to it. Okay, the Eldest Reborn is an interesting one here, as you can imagine. I tend to want to hold that if I'm killing stuff. It's another good play, obviously, if they're down to 1 creature they bring out. It's good for anti-Carnage Tyrant type stuff to bring the Eldest Reborn out. So it's nice for that to be in the hand, just waiting there. I know I'm going to have mana for it. So, and there's so you can see what the deck's trying to do. It's just, and I'll just be quite patient now with the removal, just to sit and wait. The idea is obviously trying to get the most value out of the Eldest Reborn. I can dump the Rituals of Suit as the game goes on. If they're obviously, I'm not going to be going up against any sort of a token theme. And if he's playing a control game, that'll be interesting as well. I do have Netherhall. No, not this different deck. Sorry, not in this deck, obviously with the colours. But I play a similar deck from the control, which I have Netherhall as an alternative Carnage Tyrant. So we'll see. So for now, I don't have any of my creature bombs, but this is still perfectly fine for me. I'll obviously need to play around the fact he's obviously holding counter magic, given his colours. I could probably risk firing off a lightning strike in that, but because I've only really got 2 bits of removal, I mean sort of like individual removal, it's better for me to hold on to it. And again, he's playing things like, oh, there's Shalai. Okay, so I could get rid of Shalai with, which is probably the idea. It will be 2 spells obviously, but probably worth doing. She tends to be a pain. So this will be 2, oh well, actually well timed. Lava coil comes in just at the right juncture. I would have probably used golden demise and lightning strike otherwise. He's obviously tapped out now pretty much. Don't see there's any a moment of triumph. Oh, that's interesting. Right, so I'll show my trick, obviously. Sorry buddy. Take a lightning strike. As I said, it's designed to what it says in the tin, which is kill creatures and continually to ramp up. So this is ideal. Again, he's going to have to try and, if he lets his shields down and if he's bringing something out, Eldest Reborn is a good answer. So again, standard control, quite happy to sit here. When the creatures come out, I forget the name in that, but I need, I've got 3 I think in this deck, but needs 3 red, so the mana can be a bit cruel in this deck, but given its control, I'm happy enough to let that sit. Again, I'm not necessarily too fussed about firing the shock off. If you've got anything small coming out, and as we saw before, I could always double spell with golden demise. But yeah, this is it's control both sides actually, so this is always interesting. A bit boring in some cases to watch, but all you can do is just, aha, right. So Lyra would be an excellent choice, as we'll see. Is he holding? He's got a negate, so if he's clever, he'll negate the Eldest Reborn. But that's my only real way of trying to survive this particular match. We'll see. Has to be done, of course. Yeah, it's interesting. I hope you're prepared, Devil. So you've obviously got negate in your hand, which would be well played. But at least I have. Oh, that works as well. But we don't really have anything. He's going to have to be careful in that, because I can kill it if it comes out next time, and then it can return it when it gets its 3rd stage. So I know that's in the hand, obviously. So I'll let this resolve. Goes back to his hand. I know it's in the hand. He gets to surveil, but he'll need to cast one of those cards away. And meantime, I have a chance of bringing out something that is bigger than the Lyra is. So it's good enough. But it was a good answer. I was expecting something like a negate, but that obviously works equally well. Does he cast it back out? He also knows he's going to have to discard, but I don't think that's an issue. He seems to have enough mana, so if it's a land, then he's obviously sitting on probably other counters. No, Lyra's coming back out, so I can kill her. A combination of shock and lightning strike will do the job. So, and then of course it will be in time to be returned when the Eldest Reborn 3rd chapter comes. So that's interesting to play. Again, he may still have counters in his hand, but we'll have to wait and see. So, second chapter triggers. He discards something from his hand. Opponent discards a card. And then what's ideal for me now is to, assuming in the absence of another trick, so this will have to be, what's the best way to do this? Well, let's just try and get this around. Do you have another trick? Are you out of tricks? Have you got a trick? You must have a cancel surely for the shot. Oh, blink of an eye. So, single trick. Save Lyra. So, decent battle so far, but don't think I'm returning anything. I don't think he has creatures, and I don't have anything to bring back. So I do more than one Eldest Reborn though. So you know, you may find out the hard way. But in the meantime, I hope to get Lyra back out. Yeah. So sadly, it's not over for me yet. I mean, obviously Lyra out doing 5+5. Is going to make it fairly quick, but I do have cards in the deck that can take on Lyra or turn it into more of a race. Right, so let me try and do this the right way around. I mean, I guess I can tap for mana, couldn't I? Let's try this. We'll see. You'll know that's not going to kill it, but this will. Can he save it again? Oh, and down she goes. Okay, job done. I'm expecting, well, he's got other cards in that. Does he have a Pro Tour deck level would have, you know, multiple Lyras, so that was a lot of effort to kill just one. But if he has any more, yeah, well, okay. So the deck is stacked with Lyras, which is going to be, it's hardly what I'd call Jank. I know he's saying this is a Jank deck, but for me, let's just fund these to see what comes up. As I say, this is definitely Jank, but as I said, it's just unfortunate in this match that the creatures that, believe me, are in this deck are just not turning up for the minute, whereas on the opponent's side, he's obviously drawn more than one Lyra, so he's certainly winning the draw in terms of the creatures. Eldest Reborn would still work again, so I have 3, I think, Eldest Reborn. So again, it'll just be whether they turn up. More often than not, yeah, another land. I'm going to quit there because it's pointless delaying the inevitable. I flooded out. Okay, he says he's going to go Jank this time, so yeah, let me... yeah, I know I can play that's really janky. Let's go to challenge. This is something I wanted to play for a while. I don't think it's perfectly built, but it's fun as hell if it works. I first was introduced to this watching Dr. Bumcheek's channel. He's a very entertaining guy, if you can get past his crude humour, but no, he is good, and he plays really good Magic. But he's also a streamer, a YouTuber that despairs quite badly about the lack of, as he calls it, fuzzy decks, net decks. The same old bollocks as he puts in his films. He's very watchable. He's probably the only two outside following the tournament. The only two streamers that I really follow these days is Covert and Dr. Bumcheeks. And Covert put me in touch with Dr. Bumcheek, so blame him. This will work. So the idea of this one, it is janky, but it's got kind of early removal. Thran Temple Gateway is the key card, which at least I've drawn. I think I've only got two. It took me a while to get one. I had to obviously spell a wild card. I think I went up to two. I think more often than not when you try and drink, one of a card rarely works, but two certainly does. Things like the Chromatic Lantern. Again, the interesting thing about Dr. Bumcheeks is he doesn't really put out deck lists, so he's obviously anti. Now what do I play here? No, let's try and bring. Let's try and get. I haven't necessarily worked out to play this completely properly, but so what do I dump? Sacrifice the forest, since I have another one, and then I've got mana in. Okay, so the idea of this is to try and hold back any early threats, but the key card is getting Thran Temple Gateway down and having some castable bombs in hand cheaply. Dinosaurs, so the deck is packed out with expensive dinosaurs that I haven't drawn any yet, so I probably should have mulliganed in reality. But and there's Honor Guard, which is okay. So there's Carnage Tyrant, which is fine. We will have the double green at some point. Let me. What do I want to do? Well, I'll take out the guard. Yeah, I have to pay one. Which is fine for now. It's fine for now. Yeah, I know Tocatli is it was anti-aggro, wasn't it? Well, no, it's more anti-Golgari, I think, to stop the ETB effect. So, I still don't. Well, I guess I do have a dinosaur, but it's not. Well, excuse me being Jank when I bring that out, is my take. As I said, I've not really followed, yeah, I think Scott Bunchings has a different, okay, so, yeah, that's disappointing. I should have been paying attention that he's got blue, so counters are, and Sinister Sabotage is one of the probably most hated cards playing against blue. Such a pain in the arse card, to be fair. Not completely over, because again, to get to the mana with Carnage Tyrant, which is, I don't have to worry about any nonsense from control decks, is still a decent outcome. So it might be Jank. It's got some legs. Okay, there's Utopia again. What I'm going to do is, yeah, I need to get rid of this what I can. Let's get it off the field. Probably got another one, which we'll put out, but that's fine. As long as I can ramp up. And that's handy, because I can get the Lantern out. So the mana's looking decent. The mana's looking decent. No counter for that, no. Oh well, Carnage Tyrant is cast. Hold on. How you like that? If this is the mirror, he could have dispersal, but then of course I wouldn't lose it because I've got more than one card in hand. So it's one defense, I guess. You could have Eldest Reborn as well. We'll see. He doesn't. And there's the second Carnage Tyrant, which probably puts the game out of reach, I would assume. But you never know with these decks. Never say never. He does not have the mana for what do we call it? Settle the Wreckage, that's what I was searching for. So Eldest Reborn, which, and then I've got the Gigantosaurus coming out, so too many threats in reality, I would think. This could be a, yeah, well, he can't target, so I assume this is GG. Let's find out. Let's just go for it. So yeah, he countered the Thran, but Carnage Tyrants took it home. Yeah, so I really enjoyed Dr. Bumcheek's build of this, but he has various different builds, and of course I've watched it a few times, but I had to come up with my own take on it. But yeah, I think the general consensus is it's kind of multicolour. You need a decent mana base, but the idea is to get Thran Temporal Gateway out and start doing some stuff, as it were. Okay, we're on to the next. So let's try and change. Let's just touch base with what I thought about that one. Okay, we're going to go for one more. So what I'll do, it's not really Jank for me because it's the deck that I've been in, well, I'll be honest, I've given up on doing ladder, but I had been, something I think I mentioned in the this one has been doing pretty well. I hope I get a chance to show. It's mono green, so you know I don't have to normally worry about the mana screw. It relies on big creatures, you might imagine, but you'll see there's Jank extends that I've got 3 of the enchantments that give you explore. So and that gets completely insane if it gets going, so we'll see. So this is going to be our last match, at least, and you'll see it's built, it's built to, the plummets are in there for anti-flyers, so I built it to, and and this is, if you think about it, this is put together really going up the ladder and what I was facing that. So the Brontodons were in there to get rid of the enchantment based decks. Okay, you might be seeing a fast deck. It tends to do okay, as I said, because there's no point in me worrying about hanging around for, I'm sure you won't expect, you know, you do mono green in that, I don't think many players will think put plummeting, for example, but it can be handy in the early days. I mean, I got the rabid bites as well, so they tend to work better with something bigger, which is where Bramstone, yeah, so he's going for, now it depends whether I get the mana, I just need 1 more mana. I don't get it, so that's a pain, never mind. But at least the life linker is gone. So I say I do run, I think it runs 22 lands, which, but it's not often I get really mana screwed because there's quite a low curve in it. The ramp obviously comes from I think the Lanorels and the Towels, but also obviously Tom Trailies. Okay, yeah, he's really going for it. Really going for it in the, if I get mana screwed, it's a bit of a shame. Well, I've got the walker, so all is not lost in the life gain stakes, but this is, I hope I get the opportunity to show you the shenanigans, is it full vertical blue, call them, with the enchantment. I probably won't draw it though, but I think I've got 3 in the deck. But when you've got the Explorer out, you get all creatures to explore, and that just gets silly. Okay, Conclave Tribunal, we've got, this is Pro Tour, so Devil wasn't messing about, and this is the sort of bollocks I was facing at times, along with a raft of other decks going through. There you see. So as I said, took a bit of time to come, but interesting with the Brontodon gives me the option, obviously, to get. I've got 2 of them, so I can get my walker back. So we'll see if that makes sense. I've got a Rabid Bite, of course, to take out the Pridemate, unless he's going to lifelink it. That's not going to do anything. It's not going to live long enough for that. Oh, there's this Resplendent Angel. So he's really going to town. Right, so the Resplendent Angel is a... of course, plummet again, destroy creature with flying, that'll work. No, leave that now, and then I can Rabid Bite, hopefully, unless it's going to get bigger. Marshall, yeah. Does this create at least 2 other creatures? Well, he doesn't have 2 other creatures. I just killed one, so it ain't gonna work, buddy. The plan here would be to kill the Pridemate and then return the walker, and then, as I say, hope for this enchantment I've got to go mental. So he's passed. He's down to 2 cards. No, he's coming in hot. That's surprising, so he must have a trick. So I'm not going to fall for that one. I can take the damage for now. The Pridemate's going to die anyway. No, it's another Moment of Triumph. That's a shame. That's a shame. There was a trick there anyway, so I didn't fall for it. Right, let's see, is that enough? Not quite. Alright, let's settle down the... come on. Let's settle down the other bronze. Okay, so the Pridemate is big enough now. And I'm sure he'll just sit back, which is going to give me time to get Galta out. So as I said, going back to, this was built to try and handle all the crap that you were getting trying to go, this is kind of thing what the deck can do. It can survive like a mono blue assault, sorry, not mono blue, mono white. So I think double Galt is okay. So let's do the Rabid Bite. No, that doesn't really work. Damn it. Let's get ramping. And then Galta will come out and clean up. I mean, he runs Conclave Tribunal, so another tribunal would be a little bit of a pain. I'd expect him to run more than one, but instead he's just relying on life gain with the primate, which isn't really going to do it, because this will be Volta time, and there'll be 2 Voltas, not 1, so I think, yeah, so my turn. Let's see what he thinks about this. My light total might look precarious in a minute, but we're going to start tuning up. Oh my god. What a bastard. Pardon the French. This happens to me quite a bit, but I mean, what should happen is it should reconnect and get back into the game. I think even Devil would admit that he's probably lost, but Double Galta would. But this can be an annoyance. It doesn't happen, but when it happens, typically it happens when you're in the middle of quite a good match, and it kind of spoils it. But it's fine that it reconnects you and leaves everything okay again. You join in, but typically it normally means that you lose a turn or what you're trying to do. So it's still far from perfect. But we'll wait for it to connect and throw us back into the game, and that will probably wrap it up. I'm pleased I tried to record this. As I said, I'm out of the tournament. I'm not even kind of matched again, so I'm not sure. I thought we would at least match through the rounds, but when I last sort of checked, there were no matches put up. It's obviously in the latter stages now, and I was doing pretty abysmally, to be fair. Anyway, I enjoyed it because I thought it'd be something different. I think everybody in general, apart from the guys that are streaming, and I know like Covert, and because he's got his channel and that he's doing really well, and we wish him all the best. But for me, as a free to play player, but I enjoy Magic. This is a problem. It's like in the Magic Duels game. I'll play a digital version of Magic because the game is addictive and fun. And I play paper. The good thing is I do, and I spend. If I'm spending money, and financially, I could spend loads. I could spend, all the money that was necessary on Arena, but I choose not to. I just, it's digital, it's casual, it's good to play Magic, but yeah, paper we know is expensive, but I don't mind spending the money because if it gives me the opportunity to play, as I said, Magic Master, my son, we play and we both enjoy it, so I don't worry about the cost, but in terms of having enjoyment playing with him. And he's a good player. He's probably arguably better than I am, which is fine. All the dads out there and that, just resign yourself to the fact that your sons are going to end up being better at you everything ultimately. So just go with the flow, as they say. But have fun doing it. I mean, he's a great lad. I'm really proud of him. As I was like proud of my father, but I think every father wants to see his son doing as well, if not better than he does. I mean, that's just a natural dad thing, I guess. So we'll wait, get put back into this game, and it will be the last one I'll record and get this out. And hopefully you'll find it a bit more enjoyable than the videos I put out in the tournament, which were a bit one-sided for the majority of cases. So we'll see. So put me back into the game. I should have messaged Devil, but I thought I'd just wait for the game to come back and hope it does. But we will wait and see. I already lost. Okay, yes, here it goes. At least we got back into the game. A 12-12, unless that last card is, it's not, so we can try and wrap this up. Oh, it's coming in hot. No, he doesn't quite do it though. No! I'll go down. I go down to 2, is it? Yeah. Let's take out. Oh, sorry boy, of course, legendary. Put some insurance down. Game. Well, no. Does he concede gracefully? Or does he... Yeah, another foul, mate. Sorry, Devil. Good game though. Good game.